I want to welcome you to this week's Too Tired to Cook in the Kitchen. And we are making pizza. The last 3 weeks, I've been inspired by Italian cooking. And what we're doing is using a few things from our first week where we did lasagna. We're going to reuse the ricotta and the marinara sauce to make a pizza. And I'm going to start with the end in mind today. And we'll get the pizza ready to go in the oven. That's the first step. So let me move this back so you guys can see what I'm doing. I have my pizza crust that I made earlier. I've got some mini pizzas, if you will. Hang on. I don't know that they're good I'm going to put my toppings. So this I baked in the oven. This is a pizza crust. We're going to make the pizza crust, but I'm going to leave it on here and I'm going to start by making my pizza. So we'll start with the end in mind today. So I'm going to do two different ones. I'm just going to do what I think is more of a traditional pizza, and you can put whatever toppings you want on your pizza. I'm going to use marinara sauce, which we made a couple weeks ago. No, I made it fresh. This is not the same, but we made it together when we did the lasagna. So I'm just going to add some of that to my pizza. And I think Helene likes pineapple, so you could put pineapple on your pizza, right? I'm just going to put that on. Put it all the way to the edges. Here, so I've got my sauce on. And then I'm going to add some toppings. So for this pizza, I'm going to put what I like on it, which I've got some mushrooms that I cut up. These are just white mushrooms that I cut up. And because it's a small pizza, I put them into little bite-sized chunks. If it was a big pizza, I would have probably kept them into bigger. And I've got some sliced onion. This is red onion. So I sliced this in my mandolin because I also sliced up some potatoes, which are going to go on our other one. But you could do diced onion. You could slice it yourself. I'm going to add that on. Then I'm going to add on some tomato. So I've got sliced tomato. I think cherry tomatoes would be really good with this. But my kids love cherry tomatoes for their breakfast. And when I went in the fridge this morning, there were none left. So I'm using regular tomatoes. And then I'm going to add on a little bit of ricotta cheese. And we made the ricotta for our lasagna. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that on to give it a little pizzazz. Just going to dab it on. Dab on. I think I need another spoon to dab it on. Do a couple of dabs, you know, how much you want. You could put the ricotta on after too. That would be good. And then that's going to be ready to go in the oven. So we just put it in the oven for about 15 minutes or so, and that'll be ready to go. And then we have one more pizza that we're going to do. This pizza, that's one. Our second pizza, I'm going to put it all on the same pan here. Let me move this one over. So this is inspired from my friend. Her name is Rosa. I went to a backyard party that she was hosting last year. And I said they were doing pizza. They have an outdoor pizza oven. And she said, so I told her that I do not eat dairy. And she said, no problem. I have this great potato pizza. And I'm like, what? Really? It was delicious. Now, I do know that part of the reason it was delicious is because of the pizza oven. That I never had pizza so good as their pizza oven pizza. I'm just going to put I sliced very thinly some potatoes. Now, if you don't have a mandolin to slice them really thin, then what you can do is, if they're a little bit thicker, is probably bake them in the oven while you're baking your pizza crust. So I'm just going to put 4 on. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh basil to it. Just add it. And then we're going to put that in the oven as well. So we have 2 different kinds of pizza here for us. So I'll just put this big I'll cut this one in half. Maybe put that underneath there. So I'm going to have one more piece of basil. All right. And I'm going to put this in the oven on my pizza rack. Let me get myself set up here. I keep telling myself I'm going to get a little side table that I can roll out when I'm doing my in the kitchen show. Yeah. So that everything is right there for you.
All right. Debbie, did you say the two pizza crusts are different or are they the same?
They're the same pizza crust.
Okay.
Just different toppings.
Yes, okay.
All right, so I'm going to pop that in the oven now for about 15 minutes. And just let them bake. Let me put the timer on because knowing me, I'll forget. All right, let me clean this up. And we can make our crust. So we have our crust here. There's 3 things that we need to do that take about 10 minutes. So we want to start with those 3 things. The first one is flax. We're making a flax egg. So I have 2 tablespoons of flaxseed here. And I'm going to add in 5 tablespoons of water. And if you let it sit for about 10 minutes, you'll have a flax egg. And this is great fiber. It's also great omega-3 fatty acid. And then the last one, I'm gonna make sure I count right, is that it's also a binding agent for the pizza. So we'll stir that up here and let it sit. I also have some shredded zucchini that we're going to use in our pizza base. So this is about 3 cups. Honestly, it's about this size of zucchini. It's a pretty decent size one, or 2 small ones would be about right. And I've shredded it up, and it's a coarse shred. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it. Just a little bit of pink Himalayan salt so that it will draw out the moisture in the zucchini. Because zucchini is very moist. It's known to be very moist. So let me just stir that up and let it, and you can see it start sweating right away. It's wait till we get to the end. It's like crazy how much liquid comes out of the zucchini. All right, so we have our zucchini. We have our flax egg that's sitting. We're also going to do some garlic. And I've already cut my garlic up, but I'm going to press it. Where's my press? I had it here. Yay. Keep myself organized. So I'm just going to press this garlic so that it can go and let it sit for about 10 minutes. And this allows the enzymes that are the microbial, the anti-cancer properties to really, those enzymes to activate. And that's where you're really going to get the health benefits. Whenever I got to remember one of these days for my recipes to always crush your garlic or chop your garlic first, because you want to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes before you incorporate it into any other ingredient. And even if you're putting it into a raw, let's say a raw salad dressing, where you're not heating it up, you still want to give it about 10 minutes before you put it in anything. So while we're doing that, we are going to get our base of our pizza crust together. So these are going to go as part of the pizza crust, but we're also going to, I'm using my high-speed blender, my Vitamix, and I'm going to blend up some ingredients, but you can also use a food processor. And when I doubled the recipe and put it in here, it was a little bit much, but just a single recipe. So this is rolled oats. It's a half a cup of rolled oats. And this rolled oats, I always buy the Farmers We Know brand. You can get it at Costco. You can get it at a lot of major stores. I think it's available in both Canada and the US. They are saying that it's glyphosate free, which is the really heavy duty pesticides that are in Roundup. And it also is organic and it has been sprouted. And what the sprouting does is it allows the nutrients to start going and getting that beautiful start to them. So it gives you more nutrition. So I've got that. I've got some nutritional yeast that I'm going to put in here, and also some basil. So I've got, no, sorry, or oregano. So I got about 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of oregano. You can be generous with that. I also have the nutritional yeast, and then I'm going to add in my sunflower seeds. And looks like in all my rush today, I didn't measure out my sunflower seeds. So let me do that right now. We want 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds. Yay. After we're done, ladies, I'm going to find my sunflower seeds. I'm going to find them on the counter. I know. All right. Now, if you can, you want to sprout your sunflower seeds or any of your seeds and nuts beforehand so that you take the enzyme inhibitors off. That makes them more digestible for us. And really what you do is you soak them and then you dry them to reconstitute them back to their natural state. So all I'm going to do is blend this up to make a powder. It's like we're making a oat flour with oat and sunflower seed powder. I'm just gonna and you can leave it a little grainy if you want, but I love doing that in the Vitamix because it's like a little storm in there, and that blends it all up. So now we have this fine powder that we've got. This is a fine powder. Like I said, you could do this in your food processor as well if you don't have a high-speed blender. All right. So now we're pizza. First thing we're gonna do, and ladies, I'm using gloves today because it's gonna be messy. So I'm gonna put on my gloves. All right. And we're gonna start by taking this zucchini we've had sitting here. We could let it sit a little longer, but I'm sure you guys don't want to wait. So we'll just keep going. But it's already, you can see a lot of the moisture coming out. So I'm going to wring it out. So you could put this onto a towel and a clean tea towel and wring it out. I'm just going to wring it out by hand. I'm going to put it into here. So you can see okay. I think OJ dropped. So hang on, can see all of the liquid that's coming out. Here, let me put this here. And hang on. It's like I'm wringing out the clothes here. Look at that. It's a lot. Add that. And then I just move this into here. So that's a lot of moisture that came out. That's probably at least half a cup. So let me, hang on. I'm just gonna let somebody in. Looks like, let me see if I can do that easily here. Okay. All right. Now I know why I had 2 sets of gloves here ready to go. All right. So now we have our zucchini, and we can add in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, come on. This one's not cooperating. So I'm going to add in, not this, we'll put this on the side. Going to add into our zucchini our flax egg that we made here. And again, like I said, this is our binding agent. here. I'm going to add in my garlic. I added the rest of the spices into our mix. So I'm just going to mix this up a little bit and then add in the oat sunflower. This is our oat sunflower flour that we made. Just going to get the little bits that are here out. And then I'm just going to mix that up. But mix it up by hand too is great. So I'll get my hands dirty now to finish mixing it up. Put this on the side. So this will make this amount makes 2 of the individual pizzas, or you could make 1 bigger one. I thought it would be good to make 2 smaller ones so I could show you 2 different types of pizza. And then once this is ready, and if all of the oat sunflower flour has been incorporated by the liquid, we're ready to put it onto our parchment paper. So let's do that right now. All right. I have my parchment paper. I'm going to add it to, I got an old pizza round. I always put parchment paper down. It's so much better. Keeps everything clean for you. Let's move some of this away here. Yeah, so I just put this down here and put it onto, I'm going to just take 2 balls and then just flatten it down. And then I bake this in the oven at 350 for about half an hour or so till the bottom starts browning and the edges start browning as well. And you can make this, some people like thick crust pizzas, some make like thin crust pizza, so you could do it however you want. Make it to your liking. And just kind of shape it a little bit. All right. Move this out of the way as well. And you can see I have my 2 pizza crusts that I can put into the oven. And while I'm doing that, it's about time to take my other pizzas out of the oven. That's about 15 minutes. So I'm going to leave those in for about half an hour. I'm putting on my timer because I am pretty famous for forgetting about my stuff if I walk away and do something. All right. Now we have our pizzas come out of the oven. And I'm going to start with my potato basil pizza here. Now, like I said, so this is, I used a yellow Yukon Gold potato and I've got my basil here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drizzle a little bit of a balsamic reduction on it. So where's my balsamic reduction? So I've got a balsamic vinegar here, and you can reduce it as well or buy a reduction. Just going to add a little drip of that on here.
Yes, my husband, just a moment, please.
All right. And voila, you have a potato basil pizza. Yum. That's my potato basil pizza. So that's balsamic vinaigrette. You can make it into a reduction as well. One of the things that you have to be careful. I've got a recipe for it, but you do have to be careful how you're doing that so that it doesn't harden. And I think I overdid it with the one I made this morning. And then we have our other pizza. Let me go get another plate.
Next door. That's early. There doesn't usually come around until the afternoon.
And just going to turn off the volume here.
Sure. Okay.
All right. get my other pizza. Ooh, and we have a couple of pizzas to go. I'll just show you what it looks like. There's my balsamic pizza. It's a little runny there, but that's okay. All right. Helene, you have a question or comment?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you put egg in the flaxseed mix?
No, it's called a flaxseed egg. It has no egg in it. It's just flaxseed and water. And it's basically a substitution for an egg.
And what type?
That's why they call it a flaxseed egg.
What type of flax seeds did you put in?
So I did ground flaxseed. So that's a good point. If you buy regular flaxseed, they actually are the seeds themselves, we can't digest. They basically will go straight through you. So in order to get the benefits of the fiber and the antioxidants, you need to grind it up. So if you have like a coffee grinder, you could put them in like a Vitamix and grind them if you want. But a coffee grinder is great if you're doing a couple of tablespoons. That's a great way to do it. But you can also buy ground flaxseed. If you buy it in the store ground, make sure you store it in the freezer because it does go rancid. Does that help, Helene?
Yes.
Yes. Any other questions?
And the nutritional yeast. What is where do you how much did you
Oh,
is
how
it
much did I
optional?
put in? I think I put a couple of 2 to 3 tablespoons. I like it a lot. It gives me the cheesy flavor. I don't know, because here's the one I bought. Actually, it's very interesting. I was buying nutritional yeast, and there were 2 different types in the store. One was very dark yellow, like this one, because this is the one I ended up buying, and it's just flakes. The other one was very pale, like it was hardly yellow. It looked more white than yellow. And so I did a little research to find out like which one might be better. So it turns out that the ones that are the darker yellow tend to have more bolder flavors. And also the one I bought is fortified with vitamin B12, vitamin B6, and a couple other, I think niacin, which is vitamin B3. And the other one that I was looking at that was the pale one had no fortified vitamins in it. Now, that part was not why I bought it, but I like the bold flavor is why I bought it the way I did.
Did you buy? What did you buy? What kind was it? What brand?
It's Bob's Red Mill. Hang on.
Bob's Red Mill.
Here's the package here. So it's
Nutritional
Bob's.
yeast.
So I got this at
Like-
Superstore. You
Where?
can actually find it at Bulk Barn too, in the bulk with the spices. And other stores will sell it too, but I get it all over, depending on where I am.
Why that? Is there? I know there's like multiple brands of nutritional yeast, not just that one.
Yeah, there's some other brands for sure. Lots of brands of nutritional.
But does it matter which brand?
No, it's fine. You want to look for one. Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure it doesn't have any additives. It's just the yeast flakes. And it's not the same as brewer's yeast. It's not brewer's yeast at all. It's nutritional yeast is dried yeast flakes. It's the way they process it. But this is the plant-based alternative to cheese. So this gives it cheesy flavor.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it's not the same, and nothing is the same. I tend to think that we should be looking for things that taste good and not looking for a one-to-one replacement substitute to have something that's exactly the same, because you'll never find it exactly the same.
And did you crush your sunflower?
So, any questions?
You crushed your sunflower seeds?
Yeah,
Or
I put the sunflower seeds in the blender with the oats to make a powder. And I added you don't have to do this, but I added the nutritional yeast and the oregano because it would blend it up in the food process.
what else do you use that nutritional yeast for? What else do you
You can use it to make a cheese sauce. You put it like in the ricotta cheese that I made, it's nutritional yeast is in there as well. So it's in a lot of things. It can be. So usually like cheese, something where you want to add cheese or flavor. Dressings, like I put it in my Caesar dressing as well. Yeah, and it adds that it's got this earthy flavor that it adds.
I wonder if it would be good in my salad dressing.
It could be, yeah, for sure. And there are salad dressings, actually. There are salad dressings on the market that have quite a bit of nutritional yeast in them. And I have one. It's from my mentor Danielle. Her raw food chef course is for Pacha Vega. She has a really nice one that's called, I think it's Garlic Glory, which has quite a bit of nutritional yeast. I love that dressing. It's really good.
Send it my way then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send that dressing everybody's way as an option. I think this pizza you have to eat with a fork and a knife. I don't think you can pick it up the same way as the other pizzas, but it still tastes good and it's very filling. It's really filling. Let me get my basil one. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
But you made it last night too.
I made it. I had it for dinner last night too. Yes. I ate it all up.
And what shelf did you put it in on? What shelf of your oven did you use?
I used the normal one. That one wasn't matter too much.
The middle?
Yeah, middle.
Middle?
Yeah. All right. While I'm eating this, yum.
Yeah.
Let me get you guys the recipe.
Oh.
I love Fridays. I eat well on Fridays. Okay.
We need a chicken recipe.
So next week is our Canada Day on Tuesday. So I have canceled the meditation on that.
Oh.
But I will do Friday. I think Friday is Tuesday is, so Friday is Independence Day. But I will still do Friday in the kitchen. And I think I'm going to do an homage to strawberry shortcake. My inspiration, my daughter bought this vegan strawberry shortcake ice cream, and that got me thinking, oh, I think this would be a really great summer recipe. And right now, at least here in Ontario, the strawberries are out in full force. I think some of the local farmers have strawberry picking this weekend. So I'm going to do the homage to strawberry shortcake next Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bring some